I'm sorry, there is a difference between having a cat or dog versus having, tarantulas, cockroaches.
You don't have to light yourself on fire to keep others warm.
Your spiders, your problem. Thanks for tuning in. I'm V.
And I'm Sandra.
And in today's episodes, we're going to be talking all about pets. Now, pets are a lot of things. They're companions, they're best friends, and for a lot of people, they're part of the family. People will do a lot for their pets, but risking homelessness or relationships, some might say that's extreme. So today's story is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for saying my sister's family can't temporarily move in with me and my wife due to their pets? I, 30-year-old male, have been married to my wife, Naomi, 29 female, for 3 years, but have been together for over 10 years and we are expecting our first child together. Congratulations, OP. Naomi is currently 6.5 months pregnant, and I'm not going to lie, but her pregnancy is considered high risk and her doctor advised her to avoid any stressful situations because of it. About 6 months ago, my sister, Kate, 38-year-old female, have brought a new build house with her husband, Bob, 40-year-old male, so they can accommodate all my nephews who are 17-year-old male, 15-year-old female, 7-year-old female, and twins that are 14 months old. Their house is a 6-bedroom with the extra bedroom used as Bob's hobby room. Bob is sorry about that. The grammar here is a little bit wonky. Bob is very into insects and spiders, so he has a few tarantulas, cockroaches, etc. Now to the issue. Latest survey has discovered that Kate's house is not safe to live in due to some construction issues. I don't know why it hasn't been picked up earlier, but now they have nowhere to live and have started a legal battle against the company responsible for building the house to get their money back. Currently, they cannot afford to buy another house or to rent, as prices for the places for rent are way too high in their area. Due to this, my sister has asked me if they can temporarily move in with me and Naomi, since Naomi inherited a large house from her parents. It's considered an older Victorian house that still requires a lot of work. So far, we have only replaced all the windows to keep the warmth in. The house has enough space for my sister and her family, and I said they can move in with us as long as they don't bring their tarantulas and other insects with them, as my wife is terrified of spiders, to the point of passing out or having a severe panic attack, and Bob has them escaping frequently. Bob refused. This resulted in a massive argument where I was called an a-hole for not providing my sister and her family with accommodation at the time of need over some spiders. Edit, as this has been mentioned a few times, I have asked my wife and have spoken to her about my sister staying over, and it was her choice to agree as long as there was no spiders. I haven't made the decision myself without asking her for her opinion first. So there is a second edit. I've seen a lot of people recommending my wife to go to therapy over her fear of spiders. She is in therapy for it. However, it is a bit complicated as one of her family members passed away due to complications caused after a spider bite while they were on holiday. I hope this explains why her fear is as severe as it is. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I would be scared too of spiders.
I don't know. Maybe I'm going to come off a little bit cold here, but it's OP's house. He's letting them stay over with that one condition. I'm sorry, but...
With how many kids, too, coming in?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's a pretty big family that OP is willing to house, and the only condition is to not bring your pets, which seem to be escaping quite often. I think OP mentioned that the spiders escape pretty often.
Yep. Oh, and it's not just spiders. It's tarantulas, so bigger spiders are not just like little ones.
Yeah.
And
cockroaches. Anyone who has a fear of them, like, they're definitely going to be very, very nervous, especially OP's wife, is it, who is pregnant?
Yeah.
Right?
And going through a very complicated pregnancy.
Yeah, so it's very understandable that OP wouldn't want to put his wife in that situation in which she has to be concerned about spiders and tarantulas escaping and running around, like, especially if she is going to therapy for that phobia. I mean, OP is very reasonable to have that condition. And it's really, OP is not obligated to house this family. OP has their door open to this family with that one condition. It's up to the family to either take it or leave it. And that's it.
I'm in agreement. I mean, I think, okay, just because OP and wife, currently it seems like they have a big house that OP's wife Naomi inherited. So it seems like they have the space for it. I think just because of that, and they're opening up their homes essentially. So it is up to them. I mean, replace the tarantulas and cockroaches with a dog or cat. I don't think I would change my mind. Only because, and some people might disagree, yes, it's a family pet. But here's the thing, it's a choice, right? It's their choice to stay at OP's house. I feel really sorry for them with the fact that their house, whatever the survey missed, so maybe there's something wrong that makes the house unsafe. I feel really bad for them. But it's them, 2 adults, plus it looks like at least 4 or 5 kids. 5 kids, right? That's a lot to bring into another home and, in a sense, to stay for however long it may be until your house is ready to go.
Yeah, like no doubt OP is very generous in offering his house as a place to stay for this family. And I'm pretty sure the family can find some service to temporarily house the pets while this is going on. Like, it's not a permanent situation. Well, it's not supposed to be a permanent situation. So, OP is already figuring this part of the problem out for the family.
Yeah.
And it's just up to the family to figure out the rest of it. I mean, OP can't figure out all of it for them. They're already willing to house like your family and all your kids. It's very understandable that OP can't house your pets too.
Especially if you have them escaping. And I'm sorry, there is a difference between having a cat or dog versus having, tarantulas, cockroaches that are known to be escaping from time to time.
Knowing that the wife, OP's wife, is very afraid of them.
And I'll be honest, because there was mention about therapy, obviously she's in therapy to overcome the fear of spiders, but she's also going through a very complicated pregnancy. And just because you're going to therapy for it, it doesn't mean her fear of spiders is going to disappear overnight or in a week. And it also wouldn't help if you're getting help for the fear that you have to be constantly near the said fear.
Yeah, OP and his wife, like, it's not up to them to even get over this fear just to house this other family's pets. It's not their job to be able to house your pets, right? Definitely find, the other family can find a temporary accommodation for the pets if they want to take OP up on their offer. And if that doesn't work for them, then they can just figure out their own solution. Like, OP, it's not up to you to solve everybody's problems.
No, it's not. And I second that. Maybe who was it? Bob and Kate? Maybe Bob and Kate can ask another friend to house the pets for now. Because it seems like, tarantulas, cockroaches. So it sounds like they might have their own little enclosing of some sort. Maybe someone could help take care of them for a certain time. Maybe ask a friend, other relatives, just temporarily. So it doesn't mean that he has to get rid of them necessarily.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to get rid of your pet. But there's other solutions out there besides forcing someone else to, house them when they clearly have a fear of it. What's the saying? There's a saying. You don't have to light yourself on fire to keep others warm.
Agreed.
And that goes for you and your wife, or OP and OP's wife, that they don't have to be uncomfortable in their own home just so that they can house a family and their pets.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for OP even more because it's not just a simple, spiders, yuck, or I'm scared of them type of very, everyday concern that someone might have in terms of maybe people just don't like spiders. It sounds like a severe fear, especially because she had a family member that actually passed away from complications from a spider bite.
Oh, that would terrify me.
Yeah, so I don't think her fear is just, I simply don't like spiders. I think it goes much further than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember when you learn of like how dangerous spiders can be, it
Oh, yeah.
instills like this very uncomfortable feeling and fear in you, and it makes you not want to be near them. Just like because of the dangers. And then like especially if you knew someone who passed or became ill because of a spider bite, like that's definitely a very reasonable fear to have. No shame to anyone who has pet spiders. Just saying that
Yeah.
the fear of them is very valid.
Yeah. And even more so, I feel like when you take on any pet, right? Even if it's not tarantulas or spiders or bugs, you take responsibility for them. It's no one else's responsibility except for your own. I mean, the house thing is very sad, very tragic, but your spiders, your problem. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Put that on a t-shirt.
Your spiders, your problem. Sold now for $9.99. So, comments say, not the a-hole. If Bob's priority is his cockroaches and not his kids, that is on him. You absolutely provided an option. Tell your sister that she and her kids can still move in if they want, and Bob can sort him and his bugs out on his own. It is absolutely fine to have boundaries and rules in place when you help someone out like this. If they do move in, you really should make sure to set firm guidelines for living together. If Bob is going to act like this over what, to me, is a very obvious concession he would have to make while looking for this type of help, then you need to have a really transparent conversation about what is and isn't acceptable and what house rules you have that would be deal breakers. Since you and your wife would be in the minority in the household, and there's a good chance you could lose control of things in a way that could be damaging to your relationships, your marriage, and your sanity. The first thing I would do is find out exactly what the construction issues are and how realistic the legal battle is and what their financial plan is to get into their own place and how they're going to be contributing financially while they live with you so you can make sure you aren't just opening your door to them to move in forever.
Oh, yeah. All of that
yeah.
Yeah, definitely set those boundaries. And honestly, for Bob, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a take it or leave it situation. I mean, OP's going to set their boundaries. These are what's okay, what's not okay. And then either you take it or leave it. And, at the end of the day, it is up to Bob and his family to figure out their own solutions, and whether or not they want to take a helping hand or not, it's up to them.
The fact that there's even family debate going on about this, not because OP is refusing to house the family, but because OP is refusing to house the spiders, that is so odd to me. So odd, because someone is opening up their home to you in the goodness of their heart and saying, yes, stay with me because this happened with you. Like, bring your kids, bring your wife, like, bring the whole family, just not the spiders because of a very valid reason. And your reaction to that is, no, you're a jerk because I can't bring my spiders.
I mean, obviously for OP, his priority is going to be his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you can't blame OP for prioritizing her and her health and her comfort. So, to me, there's no way OP is going to be the a-hole.
Yeah, no way. And I really like that this comment kind of brought up some interesting points. Like, they brought in the fact that you're going to need to establish boundaries and rules, OP. Because the concern is, okay, say they do move in, OP and his wife will be the minority. And so whatever decisions are being made now, so things can get dicey. You can be overwhelmed in your own home.
What if they come in there like, release the arachnids? And then...
Oh, God. Worse, what if they tell OP, okay, we won't bring it, but then they'll sneak it in? That would be horrifying.
And then they escape.
Good luck trying to catch all those cockroaches. Another comment. So interesting. We have comments from people with the out of the norm pets, like community. Generally, people with pets out of the norm, such as ferrets, snakes, fancy fish, etc., will step up to help other people in that niche pet community. My friend took in a couple of rats for someone who needed a few months to find a rat-friendly place to stay, and when my uncle had to rehome his pigeons, he was able to find another fancier place to take them in.
So yeah, I'm sure there's a community out there that will help.
Yeah.
Or I don't even think tarantulas are really that out there. It's for, I don't think it will be too hard to find care for them, temporary care for them while the family is getting back up on their feet.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely Bob's responsibility to do his research and see if there are other resources out there, potentially reach out to other tarantula, cockroach owning communities, or potentially centers. I don't know, that might like be okay with housing his pets for a certain amount of time. So, last comment, it's your house. You can set whatever conditions you want on it. And considering your wife's fears, no spiders is entirely reasonable. Your sister and her family needs to understand that they are not in a position to make demands at this point. That big house or not, that being willing to take in all those people for an indeterminate amount of time, even without the spiders, when your wife is expecting, is incredibly generous. I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally welcoming a whole group, large group of people, family members or not, a large group of people into your house, including kids, which in itself can be another headache on its own.
Yeah, that is such a generous offer. I mean,
especially when they're about to welcome a newborn.
If Bob isn't going to take the offer, that's up to Bob. You know, he can complain all he wants, but OP should just still hold firm on their boundary.
Yep. I say not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
And it looks like the community agrees. Reddit agrees. It's always like the little, like, holding breath, like, wait, do they agree? Okay. Good.
Right.
Good. All right. So those were our thoughts on this and our verdict on OP's situation. And good luck to OP, because I hope he and his wife are having a hopefully less stressful situation throughout the complicated pregnancy.
And I hope that they have a happy and safe delivery.
Yeah. So those were our thoughts. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Talk to you soon.
Bye.